I bought this mouse for just £4 in a shop in the UK called ASDA. I'm Techify, and in this video I'm going to pimp out this mouse with a few mods and see if I can make it any good. So guys, let's get into this. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, then make sure you subscribe and join the Techify Discord. So before we get started with the mods, I'm going to do some tests to find out what this mouse is like to begin with, both in terms of its specs and how I perform in game. This mouse is really pretty small. I mean, here's it in comparison with the G Pro Wireless Super Light and my small Final mouse. It's shorter than the Final mouse by a significant amount. In fact, if we try and measure it best I can from the middle, I'd actually say it's less than 100 millimeters long, which is really short, but actually it's quite nice. I can get quite a nice claw grip on this mouse actually. And I can see it being good for fingertip. I actually don't dislike the shape too much. I think it has potential. And this mouse weighs less than 50 grams, which is absolutely crazy. I don't think I own any mice other than the Final mouse that are this light. The clicks actually feel surprisingly nice. Where this mouse is obviously going to be let down though is the sensor. So it's got this, it says it's an optical mouse. You've got this sensor that's shining red light in your eyes, and I did check and it is 1000 dpi, but we don't have the ability to change that. What I haven't tested yet is the lift off distance, so we're going to take a guess at about 5 playing cards. That's usually where I start if I don't know. Yeah, and we're still tracking on 5, no problem. In fact, I think we're actually going to go up a significant amount. I'm going to make it 8 right now. It's not tracking on 8, so this actually could be not too bad. So yeah, we're tracking there on 7 playing cards, so the lift off distance of this is pretty much the same as something like the Razer Viper Mini. So although 7 playing cards is a kind of high lift off distance, it's the same as the Viper Mini, so I can't really knock this mouse for £4. Obviously the feet and whatnot, they're not great, but we're going to try to change them anyway. It's quite a rattly mouse, but we can live with that. So to do some testing, I first did some aiming on aimtrainer.io. This isn't a great test, but it's nice and simple and convenient to load up. So I did 5 tests and my highest score was 249 and my average was 183. These are really not very good scores. My aim isn't amazing, but I am capable of at least double that consistently. The issues were, one, the DPI of 1000, which is fixed, was a little bit too high for this. And then secondly, you could really feel some acceleration with the sensor. You can expect that from such a cheap mouse, but it meant I was overshooting a lot. I then decided to test it in game and just play some PUBG for a bit. And the things I noticed were the feet. I really feel like I was fighting against the feet sometimes. They were really dragging. And then again, that sensor did not feel very nice. The mouse just didn't feel cooperative and like it was doing what I wanted. And unfortunately, I don't think no matter what I do, I'm going to be able to fix that. So I got to modding the mouse to try and make it a bit better. The things I had planned were a paracord, some new feet, and to replace the switches. However, in the end, I decided not to replace the switches for the clicks because I actually really liked the ones that were in there, and the paracording took way too long. Basically what happened is the existing cable was soldered to the PCB of the mouse. This wasn't too big of an issue. The paracord, which was one I actually made myself, I soldered a connector to on the board and then plugged in. That was easy enough. However, the wires were in a different order and different colours, so I had to pull the USB end apart of both my paracords to be able to see where the wires linked up and figure all that out. That took way longer than expected, but I got it working in the end. Once I'd done that though, I put the mouse back together. I've already taken the old feet off and I went about putting some new feet on. I used the spare feet that came with the HyperX Pulsefire Haste and just stuck them on wherever really. Kind of just got some good coverage around the edge of the mouse. Once I put them on though, they felt so much better. I didn't have any new issues despite the extra thickness, and they just felt so much better. I think that's what ultimately just makes such a big difference for a mouse. So I got back to doing the same test which I did at the beginning. In my 5 goes on aimtrainer.io, I had an increase of my average score up to 207 and a high score of 272. So that is a decent increase. Similarly, in game it felt better as well. One thing I did start to notice is there's no side buttons. I do miss that. I actually do use them a fair bit depending on the game. I think all the improvements I felt could be put down to the feet. With a mouse bungee, changing the cable didn't really do all that much, but it does look cool. Nothing can take away from the fact though that the sensor is really bad. Obviously it's a £4 mouse, but it's stuck at 1000 DPI and the acceleration just meant I was overshooting, and in general sometimes it just didn't feel like it was doing what I wanted it to do. And that concludes the video of my £4 ASDA mouse. The upgrades we did made a big difference, but ultimately the sensor still lets this mouse down. I actually quite like the shape, so if you'd like to see me try and maybe swap the internals of a Logitech G305 into it, then let me know in the comments and like this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.